What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome Austin here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. Or not to bring what, but I hope it is awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to obviously talk more about the markets, talk about what happened yesterday with SCOTUS and the tariffs and Trump. Obviously, some things that come out now. Trump has pretty much doubled down on his tariffs. The announcement came out probably about 30 minutes ago, or maybe a couple hours ago, actually, in regards to him increasing it to 15% from the 10% of which he said yesterday. So they are finding some loopholes for this tariff discussion. Obviously, tariffs are still on the table here. Tariffs are still the main topic over since since Liberation Day of last year, April of 2025. And we're still talking about it today. Obviously, it's still directing the markets. I think there's just a lot of things on the table here as to where we're going to go. We got obviously a discussion with Iran and potential U.S. military strikes over there, which I think is going to happen. I actually do. I think that there's a potential for some strikes to happen. Obviously, there's discussions for a deal to be made. But from what Trump's saying, I just think that they're going to be taking out the supreme leader over there. Like it's my personal opinion after reading everything here. I think this is the time, right? And it's kind of sucks because I'm against all that, but I think it's going to hurt the markets. However, there's a lot of things out here that have popped up since yesterday, over the last 24 hours of like where we're heading and where we're at. And I think it's just good discussions to be had. And I think we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. I know my thumbnail out there says this is good for Bitcoin. And I think it is. I think that we're closer to the bottom than we are to anything. And right now, like personally, I think if people are actually selling their positions right now, they're probably selling it for a little bit of, to wait for a bottom. Because I do think that we're going to go down just a little bit more to some degree already, especially if we strike Iran. That's going to obviously hurt the markets. It's going to be interesting to sort of see on Monday when we come back out after this weekend of global tariffs going to 15%. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out going into Monday. Now, again, we have 10 days. Trump gave a 10-day window for Iran, which is kind of weird. And we're going to have to sort of see how that plays out. But I do think that we're eventually going to attack them. On top of that, there's indicators out there showing that we're on the cusp of a recession. You know what I mean? Stagflation's out there, a recession's on the table. I mean, there's a lot of things leading on this, which we'll share. But before we jump into it all, I do want to say what's up to the A team. We got Kevin in the house here. What's up, Kevin? We got just Maui. What's going on, buddy? Jeffrey Mix. K-Tao, what's going on, dude? We got Jorge. What's up, Jorge? Hope all is well, my bud. We got Dave's dog, Zoe. What's going on? We got Use Case. What's up, Use Case? Majestic's in the house here. Adam, what's up, Adam? Long time no see. Hope all is well. iTroubles, what's going on? Chipper's in the house. Appreciate you guys all being here. Yes, it is a Saturday stream. I usually don't do these. We don't have soccer until I have to leave here in about 2 hours to get up, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to stop by. I'm going to stop by and put some parlays in for the fights. Put some parlays in for the basketball games today. There's some pretty big basketball games. As you guys know, Michigan and Duke are hitting it off. You got Arizona and Houston hitting off. And so I want to get out there and put some parlays in before those games start. Also, you have tomorrow, I think we have the USA versus Canada game, which will be a good game to watch. You also obviously have Miami and Virginia today, which is going to be a good little battle here in about an hour. So I was hoping to get some parlays, and we'll see what happens here. We have the UFC fights as well, so you know me, going to be jumping into those things. So Alexi, what's going on? We got T-Bay Tom, what's up, buddy? We got Adam in the house here. What's up, Adam? I'll be on my best behavior today. Hi, fan. I appreciate you, man. No best behavior. We're here just always having a good time, so it doesn't matter. I'm rooting for Canada. I'm not rooting for Canada. No way, dude. No way. We got XCL Mafia in the house here. What's up, buddy? No way. Why would you root for Canada? They got, what's crazy? If you actually look at the roster, if you look at the top 11 best players in the NHL, they're all Canada. They're all from Canada. And so their whole team is like literally like from the NHL standpoint, their whole team is literally stacked. They have the top 11 like best players in the NHL. It's pretty funny to actually see that. I'd say there's probably an argument as to who could fall there, but I mean their 11 players are like legit. I mean, so the chances for the United States to win it's pretty big. But Crosby, who knows? Crosby could be out. We'll see. Crosby is questionable to play. Yeah, that's the big one, dude. Crosby. We saw what happened. I mean, look what happened with us when he fell down, when he got hurt. I mean, even this last time they went down 0-2 and then came back and won it. But I mean, yeah, kind of crazy. Damn right, go Canada. How many Canadians are on the U.S. team? I don't know. I don't know if they made the decision for it's almost, I guess you can make the decision, right? If you're from Canada and you want to play for the U.S. team. I mean, we see people from the United States that are playing for China, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, hey, it's out there. But all right, let's jump into it here. We can see right here, you can see, right, this is what I was putting out here, is Trump to hike global tariffs to 15% from 10%, effective immediately. So there's some big takeaways from yesterday, dude. I don't know. Again, SCOTUS ruled on one issue, right? And that opened up the door for a lot of other things here, and it's just kind of wild. Also on there, Trump was saying he's considering limited military strikes, which came out it came out yesterday about this, but then they talk about it again today. We'll see what happens here. The cryptocurrency market's not actually being affected by what's happening with the whole tariff. So like I said, I think we've become a little sensitized to the word tariff, and I don't think that it's really affected us. You can see that we've had a pretty good day yesterday. So anyone that put some shorts in definitely got a little bit obliterated there. But overall, I mean, the market's actually looking pretty good. We're up just a tad bit here. Over the last 7 days, we're down, but I mean, over the last 24, we're looking pretty good. And Adam, hey, thanks again for the super chat. I appreciate the hell out of that, dude. Quant and Link interoperability kings. Hell yeah, dude. What's up, Selmo? That's Selmo. We got Tim Shea, got the Mayor Crypto in the house here. What's up, my guy? Awesome Austin women's US net team won the gold and beat Canada, and first black woman on the team is from my neck of the woods. Oh, that's pretty cool, dude. Yeah, I put money on that game. I put money on that game. That was a good game, dude. And then also the US team, I'm gonna put money on the US team tomorrow. Definitely I'll probably put some parlays in with them, dude. What's up, Tony Punch? Good to see you, dude. That's pretty crazy that she's from your place, dude. Health is wealth. Absolutely, Mike. Health is wealth, dude. The whole family here has been getting over some sickness. We went to Disneyland, and the girls were feeling they were kind of sick over in Disneyland. And then we got back here, soccer, pouring down rain, freezing cold weather, got sick again. Fan got a little bit sick. She's still battling it right now. I've actually kind of escaped it, but today I woke up with a little bit of a sore throat. So I'm like, gosh dang it, dude. I thought I escaped it, but I don't think I did. So we'll see. Phil, what's going on, buddy? Morning to you as well. Yeah. What's the bet of the day? The bet of the day, I think the bet of the day for me, honestly, is probably going to be, I put some money on, let me go to my chart here real quick. I have a couple in. I did put some money on Arizona. I have Arizona over Houston today for NCAA men's basketball. I got that. I also have, what else do I have here? I also have Duke over Michigan today. Just because the over under on it, it's just, I mean, it's too like, Michigan's probably going to win, but I just think that the payouts on Duke, and Duke has a great defense. Duke's actually really good from a defensive standpoint. So that's kind of the two that I have in there. And then I'm going to actually put some money on, I'm going to put some parlays in on Strickland as well. There's a couple good UFC fights coming in tonight that I think I'm going to put some money on. And that's mostly with the UFC side. I mean, Strickland and Anthony Hernandez are going at it. Anthony Hernandez looks great. But, Sean Strickland has a really good takedown defense, and he's powerful. So it'll be interesting. And plus the over-under, I mean, the odds on that so good in favor. I mean, it's like, even if you put a little bit on Sean, you're going to make some money. And then you got the Dan Ige, going against Costa. I think that's going to be a good fight right there. Dan Ige is actually an underdog on that one, which is crazy to me. I mean, he's such a powerful dude. Yeah, there's a ton of these. There's another guy. Where is it at? The other one is the Jacoby Smith and Jose. I think I can't pronounce his name, but his last name's Harrell. They're both undefeated. That's gonna be a good fight. They both come in undefeated, and I think it's gonna be good, dude. I think it's gonna be a good fight. But I'm gonna actually take on that one, fighting style wise. I'm probably gonna take. It's gonna be tough, dude. Damn. They're both from the U.S. They're both fighting. They both have massive KOs. Both have been in the UFC for multiple fights, so I'll probably go with Harrell on this one, but we'll see. I'll see what the numbers come out to on my parlays. So I like Michigan in that one. I got to look at the UFC still. Yeah, there's a couple good fights in there, dude, for sure. Austin, are you adding more Sui during the dip? I probably won't touch Sui right now. I think I'm just stagnant with. I'm just going to probably only accumulate Bitcoin or Ethereum. I'm probably going to lean heavy if Bitcoin drops. So let's look at some of the Bitcoin stuff here, because you can see Bitcoin's obviously hanging around 68. Let's start looking at some of the charts here, because there's actually some good data out here suggesting this could go down further. And I will probably accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible in this downturn. Like, I'm not going to, I'll probably just continue to add to the Bitcoin side. To be honest with you, I'm probably just going to focus on Bitcoin. It says right here, the total market cap has now completely round tripped the 2024-25 pump. Pretty crazy to see. We saw that already. The good part about this, and this is something that we talked about before, is the length of time we've come from where we've hit a top and then where we hit a bottom. We're 14 months in, right? 14 months is where we hit a top and then we come down and we hit a bottom here. And so the 14-month signal, again, I think this is the Bitcoin to gold chart. This isn't just Bitcoin. This is the Bitcoin to gold. So they're taking this together and showing you the chart and then basing it off of the peaks for those and then where it comes down. So they're talking about a 14 months, which is right around the corner here. It says April. So right now, November 13th to November 15th was 14 months. December 2017 to February 19th was 14 months. And then April 21st, 22 was 14 months. And so they're suggesting right now that that basically we're on this 14-month marker here. And there's another chart out here that shows this as well. This is the Bitcoin chart here. You can see that when you take these tops, you match them back out. Are we going to actually see a bottom here and go back out? And I don't know. We're on basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going into a 6 month of us being in the red and a massive downturn. And we're talking 14 bars, which is roughly about 14 months. And it's going to be, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I mean, last 3 times this has worked out. It's worked out like this. We're right there on the cusp. This could be the bottom, right? People are suggesting this could be the bottom. In addition to that, last time that Bitcoin was red for 5 straight months, we had a massive flip and we went into a pretty big rally in Q2 of 2019. So there's just a lot of things out there that say we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. You can see also right here that BTC dropped 80% because of a global pandemic. It also dropped 75% because of FTX. And then right now we're actually at the lowest we've ever been. I mean, a 23-day run in extreme fear, the longest streak ever. These are extreme fear and greed indexes here. So I mean, we're at levels that we haven't seen when we usually hit the bottom. So it's just kind of wild. I had too much ice cream cake for my B-day. Oh, damn, dude. That's always the worst. Feeling sick. I'm going very heavy on Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's kind of where I'm going to focus on the most. Bet you and fan, bet on the day. Y'all get better too. Oh, I appreciate you, Chipper. Yeah, I don't feel bad. I feel like a sore throat coming on. But yeah, I'll probably double down with Bitcoin, dude. I think Bitcoin's the way to go. Austin, have you noticed that with every big FC and Bitcoin drops coincidence? I don't think so, dude. I don't know. I don't really put too many cards into that one. BTC to 10x, 600K, no thanks. Not going to happen. We'll see what happens, man. There's a lot of money in it. No different than anything else. What's up with XCL? At least Cent is still giving rewards no matter how small. Yeah, I've kind of, like I said, I haven't really talked about it. So people have asked my opinions on XCL and Cent. I'll talk about it in Discord, but I probably won't talk about it on stream or anything like that. And just because, it does suck. It does kind of suck that it's down. My wallets are not looking too hot. Anything I say could just be negative, right? Because again, you want to be positive. I want to do well. I want to go back. I'm looking at my wallet. It's not looking too hot. So, obviously I want to come back. And so I think anything I say about it, I wish the team would come out and say some things. I wish that they would be more responsive. Yeah, that's all I can say, dude. So it's get cold again on Tuesday. Oh, yeah, so it's get cold here too. It's actually started to get it's like piercing cold. For a while there, it was kind of warm, and now it's just getting cold. Hey, Austin, you buying XRP? I have XRP. I'm probably not going to add any more XRP to my bag, the gambler. I have a decent amount. I'm probably just going to chill with it, and like I said, focus on some other ones. I have a lot of Ethereum as well, but I'm going to try to accumulate as much Bitcoin as I can. Good afternoon. Been a while. What's up, Ian? Good to see you, buddy. What is the story on Polygon? I had high hopes for it. I don't touch Polygon anymore, dude. I think Polygon's dead, dude. I mean, after they changed, when they went from when they left Matic, and I mean all these layer 2s, I just think are done. I mean, you have basically the head of Ethereum come out here and Vitalik basically shred layer 2s. He literally shredded layer 2s in a day, and I just don't know if they have that much value anymore. So also with that, there's this all ETH whales are now underwater. For the first time this cycle, every major Ethereum holder group, even more than 100K ETH wallets, is sitting on unrealized losses. When strong hands feel pain, weak hands are already gone. So you can see, I mean, look at this, dude. This is pretty wild. We're actually underwater here if you're holding this. The good thing is if you bought into this years ago, you're sitting in a pretty good spot. Like my ETH is sitting in a really good spot. It could be better, of course. Just like my Bitcoin could be better. But in all reality, I mean, let's see. I actually think my Bitcoin's actually outperforming my Ethereum right now. In all reality, yeah, it's pretty close. They're pretty close in terms of performing together. HBAR has been hanging out at the 10 cents for a while now. Yeah, it's definitely been hanging out there. Thoughts on SOL, more downside coming? I think there's going to be more downside coming if we get some if we continue with the news out here, right? I mean, if Trump obviously goes in here and strikes Iran, I think that we're going to have a downturn in the markets for sure. We're going to definitely have a downturn in the market. There's no question about that. I think that that's going to hurt. And I think this is the time. Like, Trump has come out and said that Iran, this is if any time to take out the leadership in Iran, the time is now, right? Not that I agree with that at all. I'm just saying that this is like, I mean, he's been wanting this for years. This has been something that's been talked about for years, even in the Obama administration back. I mean, Iran is definitely a melting pot for, terrorist organizations. We all know that. They're out there, peddling these things, and it's just not, I just think it's bad. Obviously, there's a lot of, I do think there's a lot of humanitarian issues out there. I think that, yeah. So, but it's, who am I to judge? I just think that this is if the time is now, if the time is close, it's probably now that he just goes and pulls the trigger. I mean, you saw what he did to Maduro over in Venezuela. I mean, I could see this coming. I don't think they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna play with kittenmans this time, dude. XRP is dead cat. It has too much supply and circulation. 59 billion. We'll see what happens, gambler. I still hold a lot. Austin, have you going to start loading on gold stocks? If so, I can give you a recommendation on the Canadian mines. Okay. I haven't actually, no. Yeah, I don't, I don't know what the whole gold stocks yet. I should probably buy some gold for sure. You could buy gold on like Coinbase now. He's never going to win the peace prize, so this is something he wants for his legacy, taking out the Iranian threat to the region. I mean, that's one thing I think we could all probably agree with. I mean, I think a lot of people could agree with that Iran is probably not the best. I mean, it's chaotic, right? But we're always sticking we're always going to stick our nose into some place that we probably shouldn't. But I mean, it would be nice. I mean, you go back to the 80s, right? People talk about the 70s and the 80s in Iran. 70s, I think it's in the 70s. You talk about like how Iran was, huge. It was crazy when they actually had like a democracy over there. If you follow Pat Patrick David, I mean, like, he's from Iran. He talks about it, and just like, it's just crazy how different it is now. And yeah. So what's your thoughts on Sui? I think Sui's good, but I'm probably not going to touch it right now. Women were hot in Iran in the 80s. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My dad was talking about it too. My dad was in the military, and he spent some time in Iran, and he was saying that like just the differencing in time out there was just crazy compared to what it is now. Like, it's not even recognizable. They are just covered. Yeah. God, I sound racist. You're saying that you like Persians is what it comes down to, Adam. It's okay. I get it. I guess they're not Persian. What are they? I guess they're Iranian. I guess it would be Persian, but I mean, like that kind of like that ethnicity, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this will definitely dampen the markets for sure if this happens, and I think it's probably gonna happen. I just think this is the time to do it. Yes, I do. I work in Saudi a lot. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it, dude. I think you already have the ability to make a dirty bomb even without. Probably true. That's probably true, Majestic. It's probably true, but just prepare for that. In addition to that, the Conference Board Leading Economic Index falls again. The economy has been consistently going in the wrong direction since 2022. So you can see, I mean, we're continuing to go down here. And anytime we come down to these levels, this is the housing crisis, right? This is the pandemic right here. And I mean, we're at lower levels than we were during the pandemic, which is crazy to think, right? I mean, pandemic was a pretty big hit in the nuts. It sucked in all reality. But you can see right here, the housing crisis was nuts too. And then you go back over here to the 1982. This was actually during the same time we were having the same issues, right? Massive inflation out here, massive inflation. This was almost the exact same thing that's happening here. We're at the same levels that we were back in the 80s. So confidence indicators are down, but eventually this will turn around at some point. Also, in addition to that, you have what's called the recession signal here, we dipped below this recession signal back in 2022, going in 2023. We came out of it in 2024, which is right during the end of the election year. And then we kind of hovered around this, kind of stayed flat, haven't actually came back up from this here in 2025. So we've kind of hovered around, we dipped around. But the thing is, we never double dipped back down. This was the pandemic right here. We never came right back down. Maybe back here in the 80s, right? The same exact thing here happened in the 80s where we came down, came up, and then came back below it. Right here, came down, came up, came down below it, and then we had a massive rally. So, when you're looking at the trends of where we're at, we're kind of, 80s was the same exact issue we had here with massive inflation, right? We haven't had this bad of inflation since the 80s, right? If you go back and look at the numbers. And so this time frame right here is matching up perfectly with this time frame right here. And so I'm hoping that we actually build back out of this. You can see we had a massive spike here in 82, right here at the end of going into 82, and then came back down. And now after that, we went into a massive rally. So I'm hoping that this is kind of what we see here in the next year. That's kind of where I'm hoping for. Whether this comes at the end of 2025 or 2026, maybe that's where we start, right? We know that the bottom of the bear is at the end of 2026 if we're going to keep the 4-year cycle going. Retail investment in crypto is totally down. My theory is that volume is down because we have no liquidity. Yeah. Absolutely, God. And liquidity is the biggest thing. I've said that all the time. We have no new money coming in. Liquidity is huge. The October 10th thing was crazy, right? The amount of money that left the cryptocurrency market on October 10th, we just haven't recovered from that liquidity pool. That liquidity literally left the market, hasn't come back. And so we're flirting around with that. And I think that that's a big thing. I do think inflation has robbed us. I think inflation was the biggest killer. Like that was a downturn to Biden's, administration, was the inflation, not being able to control the inflation. Had they been able to control the inflation, I think that I think Kamala would have had a better run. I don't necessarily think she would have won, but she definitely would have had a better run. Who knows? The Democrats could have probably held the House and or the Senate at some point. But yeah, that inflation in the economy was in such a bad. It was just so bad with the inflation. The Democrats were done for, dude. Going into election year. Volume and liquidity are down because Trump and Melania coins sucked out the. I don't know if I think they sucked out some of it, but I don't think that was the reason. I know that like when you go back and you look at kind of like, let's just go back and look at it. I think it's October 10th for sure. Melania and them launched almost a year before that. And so I don't think that was necessary because then we hit all-time highs, right? Even after they launched. So even if you pull back Bitcoin, let's go to the weekly here. If you pull back Bitcoin, Melania and Trump coin launched way back over here, right? They launched back it had to have been what, in January? Yeah, launched in somewhere in January right here. So this is kind of, and then this was Liberation Day, right? February, March, April right here. This is Liberation Day. So this was kind of like when he launched his meme coin. And I'd say that the Liberation Day, which again was this right here, was kind of what took everything out of the market, was all the tariffs and the fighting. Remember when the whole Elon, everything, this is like all right here. This is Liberation Day. But yeah, this was his announcement, right? As soon as the meme coins came out, this is all it right here. Market started to run. Then we had this massive liquidation for Liberation Day. This was horrible, right? Liberation Day was bad. And then we rallied up to an all-time high. And then this is where look at this, dude. Like liquidation, like this is October, right? This is literally October right here. And it just took out all the wind. Anything that got built up right here got completely obliterated right here. And then we fell into what is this right here, which is just another massive downturn to the year. We haven't been able to recover. We tried to recover from this liquidation event, and then we're down here again on another one. So yeah, pretty big downfalls. You know what I mean? Pretty big downfalls. But I think that we're getting towards the bottom. I think that we're somewhere in here. At least that's what I want to hope for. Is that we're somewhere in this ballpark. Even if you take this fib, and I talked about it over here, pulling these same numbers back in 2018, we came down to these levels. Even if you want to come back down here and say we want to like, actually let's take this and let's actually move this over to here. Let's run another fib on this and let's see where this low goes. You know what I mean? So you can see, that's kind of where it's at right now, which means that we probably still have some lows to go. I do think that we probably hit this, 0.65 area, which is 55. It's right on the levels where we thought it was going to hit. It's 55. We have these levels. And I do think that we're going to come right around, hit right in the middle here at 55, maybe dip below there. People are calling for that. I mean, that's a real thing out there. People are calling for this to come down. Oops, shit. There's another chart out here. I thought I had it up here. Did I skip over it? And I might have just actually deleted it. Where did it go? I might have actually. Okay, I don't have it up here. But basically, what it's saying is that, I mean, we have a chance for this to go down to anywhere into the 40s. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to have as much dry powder on here as much as possible to buy Bitcoin, dude. I think Bitcoin's going to be the buy for me. Like, that's all I'm going to focus on. Imagine being so dense to think that 2 meme coins sucked up all the liquidity. I don't think it was, definitely not 2 meme. I think that they probably, this right here was the meme. This was right here when they launched, right? And then Liberation Day was right here. But then we hit all new time. We hit all, all-time highs with Bitcoin. So that's where I have a hard time with the meme coins doing that. But definitely we had some hiccups with Binance, the liquidation events that happened, which caused the downturn here. This guy just admitted that he's only in crypto to make money, i.e. take your money, don't be chumps. What are we talking about, dude? Aren't we all here to make money, dude? Like, what are you talking about? So, like, I should be in crypto to not make money? That makes no sense. Like, what are you talking about, dude? So, like, we should just not be in crypto to make money? Like, what the Hey, guys, by the way, I'm in crypto to, like, lose all my money. Well, I don't even know that's funny, dude. Whoa, isn't everyone here to make money? That's what I look at. I mean, like, what are we talking about, dude? I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that we're here to, like, lose money. And yeah, the good thing is that if you invested early in this market, you're already in money. Like, we've been here long enough. Investing back when Bitcoin was, 16, 17, 18,000. Ethereum, dumping down into the 700, 800 mark. XRP at 30 cents. Like, I think 10,000 memes made crypto a joke. Imagine losing your ass. I know, Hogzilla, right? Oh, I get you, dude. Sam, I just blindly invest. That's why I'm here. I'm here for millions. Shame on you for making money, right? Shame on you for making money. Shame on you for trying to make money in crypto. We're so far above our buy price in XRP. Oh yeah, dude, we've been looking good. I'm just here to see Austin's beard. That's about it. See, I know I'm gonna keep it this length though. I don't think I'm gonna get any longer. It got a little too long, a little too crazy. I bought my first Bitcoin at 16K. That's pretty damn good. Good job, Pat. Where do you see HBAR going? I mean, I see HBAR hanging in there. I mean, HBAR is at levels. I mean, HBAR hung around in the bear market, hung at these levels in the bear market, right? I mean, I would be shocked if it got low. It could definitely get back into the 7s again. But I mean, you got to think through the history of all of HBAR, this thing has actually done pretty well. I mean, it's hung around these levels for a real long time. Look at the volume. I mean, the massive amounts of volume that's sitting down here at 4 cents is pretty strong. I mean, even if we zoom in a little bit, let's just go into the last, I don't know, 2 years maybe. And you can see the volume down here is still a very strong volume sitting here right around the 6 cent mark. So, I mean, like, it almost got there at 7 cents. I mean, my average is at 7 cents, and it came down and hit it. I still held. I didn't touch it. You know what I mean? So this is already back down to levels of where I purchased it, freaking 2, 3, 4 years ago, dude. 3 years ago. Austin, do you think XRP will drop to under $1 in a few months? It all depends on where XRP where Bitcoin goes and what we're doing in our economy. I mean, we're at levels now. We tend to not stay down. If you pull back the weekly chart on XRP, we don't stay down here very often. Like, I mean, we usually bounce up at some point where this weekly is going to come back up. And we haven't had that yet. We haven't had this. It's came down and hit the bottom here on October of 2025. This is the liquidation event that we haven't been able to recover from. Like I said, we tried here in January, right? Right here we tried, and then we had a massive liquidation event again. But I mean, we're at levels. I mean, we're at the lowest levels on the MACD that we've seen with XRP. Like, we haven't seen this levels with the MACD since ever. This is the lowest we've seen it, right? Even if we want to go back to the very beginning, we've never seen it this low, right? 2018, even the last one here, we never saw it this low. So we're at a pretty big depth right now, and I think that we're gonna hopefully we came down and hit this 200 on the weekly, right? We came down, we're down sitting on this 200 moving average. and we tend to go below it. You can see last time we hovered around and then came down below it. We hovered around, and you could think we hovered around this 200 all the way for basically almost like a year and a half. We hovered on this 200 moving average, and now we're back at this 200 moving average. So I hope not. I hope we stay where we're at. We might fall down and come back and hover up and down, but I think that we're kind of found a floor. At least that's what I'm hoping. Oh, the sexiest beard in crypto. Oh, snap. Good morning, everyone. Notice the new hype on YouTube videos. If you see it available on Austin's channel, make sure to tap it to boost the streams. Oh, I didn't even know that even existed. I'm here working my ass off on my rental. I'd rather be sitting on my ass making money on crypto. I heard that you can actually make. You get a good write off, right, Carrie, with your rentals. I have a big buy order at 7 cents. Yeah, dude. No hype option on YouTube. Okay. You should put a pull on. You should shave and just rock the mustache. Just rock a dirty mustache. All right. Just put a pull on there. Maybe I'll put a pull and I'll shave. The only way I'd shave, if I lost like 20 pounds, I'd probably shave, dude. For sure. If I lost like 20 pounds, I'd probably shave. I don't see the hype feature for Austin's live. Maybe it appear after the live is over. I don't know. A porn stash, yeah. Who wants a mustache ride? Austin looks weird. And it's crazy because my beard or my mustache is like blonde. Like if you look at it, dude, like my mustache is blonde. Like it's still blonde, right? And I think if I had a mustache, it would just be like, I don't know, dude. It'd be weird. It'd be weird if I just did a mustache. What's up, the trade shop? What's going on, buddy? Hope all is well. Hobbs, hope you're doing well, dude. The pull will be 99 per don't shave. Yeah, some people got that. Some people got that joke. Probably only a few people got that joke. The flavor saver, dude, that's gross. The flavor saver down here. When you retire from YouTube and crypto, you can chop the beard and disappear. Just take off the beard. I'll just take off the beard, and then I'll start wearing like gray hoodies instead of black hoodies. And then people are like, that's not Austin. He's wearing a gray hoodie. See? Hey, Austin, hope you and the family are doing good. Do you have any buy limits? And if so, are just playing short term right now? I'm just playing short term right now, dude. We'll wait for the markets. I'll play the markets out. I don't have any orders or anything like that. Chilling, cooking some chicken for my new ASMR channel. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Get that freaking fried chicken in, dude. Fried chicken actually is really good from an ASMR standpoint. The crunchiness of it, the cooking of it. Yeah, dude. Austin cut his hair and shaved his beard when our son was young. He started crying. Stranger danger. Yeah, that was like that was before that. That was before like that popular TikTok thing came where you'd like put your you'd show up, you'd put like your like a towel over your face, and then they would see your beard, and then you do it afterwards. It's kind of what I did to my son. And yeah, dude, he was like not having it. I think we still have a video on that. I think there was a video on that. What's up, Mambo Land? Good to see you, buddy. It's a man bib. I have a video of it somewhere. Yeah, I remember. I know we have it somewhere. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny, dude. But yeah, I think these levels. I mean, even when it comes to the Bitcoin side, I mean, when we start to look at these levels, I mean, look at the weekly. Look at the weekly RSI. Look at the weekly MACD right here. I mean, we're at levels. Look at that. This could come down a little bit more, but I mean, we usually recover from this. I mean, this only stays down here for. I mean, let's pull the actual distance on this. I mean, we're talking what 14. Pull the wrong one. Let's pull the date range. Let's just do it from where it hits where it actually goes below the 80 and stays down there. We're talking 21, talking 24 bars, dude. That's 24 weeks. That's 24 weeks, dude. Last time we hit these levels down here, right? But then we go over here. Even down here, we didn't stay at that level very long. You know what I mean? But between this run and this run, I mean, we had a pretty big gap, right? And this was during the pandemic, so a little bit different here. But I mean, even during these times, we've had some relief rallies in here. This is the longest time we've been down here in a while, dude. I mean, from the time this actually hit, I mean, we're almost there, dude. We're almost there. We're actually at 20. We're actually at 24 bars right now. That's crazy. We're at 24 bars right now. I mean, there could be a little bit of a relief, dude. This could happen again right here. I mean, in all reality, this could happen again. We'll see. I would kill it. Yeah, if the beer goes, I might need to find the exit. Damn, guy, you chopped me like that. Gosh, dang. I see how it is, guy. Damn. Coiling up. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, right now we're looking at distances with this, and that's what I was showing over here. You start to look at some of these distances between where these are. I mean, we're talking, I'm not going to say history repeats itself because, I mean, history has not repeated itself at all. But, I mean, this 14-month from the gold to BTC standard, very consistent. And on top of that, what's even crazier about this is right here. The Bitcoin in trading right now has never, is right at its production cost. It's dipped below its production cost last time in 2019. It dipped below it in 2020. You can see over here a couple other times it's dipped below production costs. And right now it actually earlier on dipped below the production cost of Bitcoin. And usually after that, we tend to bounce up nicely from production costs. So it'll be interesting to sort of see if we can play this out and not dip below the production cost. Historically, this is actually a really strong accumulation area. So this is where I'm going to try to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible. I do believe we may see a 71.5 or so Bitcoin before we get smacked down again. We usually will have a relief rally. I pointed this out. Over here. You know what I mean? Like right over here, we had a very similar kind of style here where we came down, hit these levels, we bounced around down here, and then we had a massive relief rally, right? And that's kind of where I'm at, is that we're probably going to do something like this here in Q2. We're not going to go back up to an all-time high, but we're definitely going to have a relief rally. It's going to come up, and do well. It's going to happen. And people are going to be like, oh shit, I should have bought, or I should have got it. People are selling. They're going to sell at the wrong time. This is what happened when Trump got elected. So many people in my inner circle, dude, they got out of crypto. They got out at the wrong time, dude. Like literally the wrong time. Like the time that you don't get out of crypto, they got out of crypto. And they got out of like a month before the election, dude. And then it spots off, and then they're all pissed off because they missed the rally. But there's gonna be a relief rally like this that we saw. And you can see this coiled down here for a long time. I mean, from the time this came down, we stayed down here on the weekly for a long time on Bitcoin. And then we had this massive rally. Dude, the elites out there know that there's money to be made in Bitcoin. They know there's money to be made in Bitcoin. That's why it's so funny to me that people are like, Bitcoin's dead. Everyone's going to move out of Bitcoin. Like, dude, you're high if you're thinking that. Like, you're not following anything. This is the place to make money. You think that these elites are now going to walk away from it? Now that they're able to dip their hands in it, they're able to dip their company's money into it, all that kind of, no, dude. Like, get that out of your head. But what we will see is something like this. We'll come up, we'll have this relief rally. We're going to probably fall into a mini recession. And then we're going to probably rally out at the end of the year and follow the 4-year cycle. That's my prediction. Sticking to it until it's done. Very similar, right? Almost very similar styles here. I showed you that, right? Very similar styles. We're bouncing around down here. Sort of same. But that's where we're at, man. I think we're going to bounce out of this. We're going to probably come up, like I said, we're probably going to come back into this, anywhere from 91. I'll maybe come up here to 100,000, right up here at the 236. Come back up and hit this 236 level, and then probably come back down. Austin, do you like Canton Network? I don't even know anything about it, Phil, to be honest with you. I'll tell you all this much. If you're not accumulating legit crypto projects right now, I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I think you should. I mean, like I said, my whole thing is just putting, you had, what's his name? You had Brad Garlinghouse come out and say that April is that he sees the Clarity Act being put into effect in April. So I'll tell you this much. Yeah. Why BTC or ETH if XRP and HBAR have much greater potential to increase in price? I just think that there's just I could say that like Bitcoin for sure. We know for Bitcoin for sure that when you come to Ethereum and you come to XRP and you come to these are all, these are all like open source. You can go on there. I mean, you can use these blockchains. People have massive controls of these. Vitalik has control of these things. They could change the script. They could change the blockchain. They could do a lot of things to change it. Where with Bitcoin, like you can't do anything. You can't change anything. So like that's why. Never sell at a low, even if it's not the bottom. You don't want to sell here. Awesome, 100% correct. We have to go back and retest 74.86 for sure. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Hobbs said there. Yeah, I mean, this is like people are selling it right now, which is crazy to me. Like, I mean, and I get it. People have fear out there. It doesn't help when you start reading X and you get a lot of, like, you missed the opportunity to sell. Basically, what it comes down to is you should have been, if you were going to sell, you should have been selling somewhere over here. You should have even been selling right here at 90,000, right? But now we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. Like, we're closer to the bottom. Like, you're only maybe, we're probably only maybe 10 to 13,000 away from the bottom if we dip even lower, right? I mean, it could go lower than that, but I mean, we're probably roughly 10 to 15,000 away from the total bottom if we hit that. And that, again, that bottom could actually hit, that might not even hit on this little cycle. This could be the bottom for this little, before we have this relief rally. This could be the bottom, and then we come back up here and we hit another low. But I mean, it's tough to say. I think that we're going to probably, depending on how this whole thing goes, if this happens in the next 10 days, if this happens in the next like 8 days, we're probably going to see a low. We're probably going to see a 55 Bitcoin for sure. We'll probably see a 55K Bitcoin. And then that will probably mark the bottom. I want to dip to 44K as my entry, but I don't think it will be there very long. Yeah, you'll probably get a wick, right? You probably get some wick that hits you. But I mean, that's kind of what happens. I mean, you could see these wicks that come down and hit these. And again, it can come down here, hit this 44 and bounce right back up to 55, right? But we haven't even like started this right here. You can see right here, I have this number here of 62. This 62 has been here for a really long time. You guys have been following the channel. The 62 has been here for a really long time. I think I put this in like literally almost a year ago. A year ago, the 62 has been sitting here, I think. We talked about these coming down and hitting these levels. And because of this massive, like, this is almost like this support level sitting right here. So like, I don't think it gets somewhere in here. I mean, we can come down and probably retest this whole area, but I mean, I don't see it getting below 50,000. I mean, which is this level right here. Be tough to say. You never know. There's some massive fair value gap sitting in here. Yeah, go for it. There's a massive fair value gap sitting here. So yeah, this will be a wild ride, dude. Time to accumulate. Flash crash to close the lower gaps and then massive push back up. Yeah. I mean, you can see there's some fair value gaps sitting right here. 40 you have sitting right here. So Hobsonian is sitting right here at 44, which is a massive fair value gap. We're talking 47 to 44. Yeah, right there, dude. Right at the top of that, right at the bottom of that fair value gap, which is a big fair value gap. That's a big one on the monthly. This is on the weekly, sorry. But the pump out of that's going to be crazy. If you catch that, dude, the pump out of that's going to be wild. How do you feel about HBAR going lower? I don't think HBAR is going to go very much lower. I was just saying that earlier. I mean, we hovered around 7 cents for anywhere from 6 to 7 cents for like literally, how long was that? I mean, almost 900 days, dude. We're talking like almost 3 years. We've hovered around like 6 to 7 cents. So like, I mean, 10 cents is sitting pretty good. If it goes back down, I mean, that's 7 cents. It came back down to hit the 7 cent mark again. I mean, it could hover around the 6, 7 cents again, but I just don't see it going much lower than that because we stayed at this for almost 3 years. And look at the huge gap for the 3-month candle. I don't usually go into the month candles there. You said the 3-month candle. Let's go to that for a Bitcoin. I haven't looked. Oh yeah, look at that gap. Jeez, that is a pretty big one at 3 months. Yeah, you have a pretty big one right there. 56 to roughly 45. Yeah, it's a big one right there. Yeah, it's 50,000 sitting right here. So that's like my low number right there. Is the 50,000 mark, right? You can see that that's kind of where I've been sitting at for a while. Is this 50,000, 55 to 50,000 where I'm at. Hobbs says 44 to 45. So that's somewhere in here. But I mean, like everyone's kind of calling the same number here. I mean, even Cointelegraph is coming out here. Everyone's sort of calling this. So I guess I'll take the average, right? From 55 to 45, I'm sitting at 50. So, I mean, 46 is right at the bottom of this one right here. But yeah, kind of crazy when you actually do pull that back a little bit. And that's sitting right there in the golden pocket. If you think about it, dude, like that gap right there is actually sitting in a nice little golden pocket, which we know this dips down into the 6.5 area. Like we dip into this little blue area right here. We tend to anyways on every fib. Even over back here in the 2020, we came down pretty good. Came down roughly, what did we come down? Let's actually just do this. Came down to the 40%. That's crazy to think. We came down to 40% from the 6.5 right there. I mean, if we came down 45% from the 6.5, see that just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to say we're going to get to 35, even though people think that we will. I just don't think we will. I don't know. 35 seems like a big dip. There's a nice little support right here too. So yeah, it could be right around that 45. You can see this level over here. I hope we're definitely going to come down to a 6.5 area, probably for sure. Most retail don't even look at the 3 months, but I bet big money is looking there. The only care about the bigger picture. I think black swan to similar to COVID will push us down. Like I said, I think if we get into a war with Iran, I do believe this. Again, how long does it go? I don't know. A massive U.S. military buildup is underway in the Middle East. Oil prices were stable Friday after rallying more than 5% this week as traders price. We saw what happened with I don't know if it's a black swan thing, but I definitely think it's going to be. I mean, we saw what happened with the Ukraine and Russian war. I mean, that hurt the markets massively. You know what I mean? Like we go back and look at let's pull up let's go back to the weekly. I mean, this right here is this is the Russian. If you go back and actually look, April, right, going into April, this right here is right here. This is the start of the Russia. This dip right here was like all Russia. April of 2022, I think, is when it started, right? Was it March? Wasn't April? Maybe it was March. Anywhere, somewhere in this area is where the war started. And then we got into FTX. And then that war started. We had a massive sell-off in the market. Then the Luna Classic collapsed. And then we had the FTX collapse. So like, you got this war over here that happens. And we hit these all-time highs. And then we come crashing down because of a war. And then we hit all these liquidation issues with Terra Luna. And then FTX, and then we hit the bottom here. I don't think we're going to have the concerns with like the Luna Classics, the algorithmic stable coins. We're not going to have issues with like, exchanges like a huge exchange like FTX going down. But I mean, I definitely think that a little conflict with Iran will definitely push us down to levels that we don't want to see. Want to be a Bitcoin maxi? This is the time. Absolutely, dude. Right, the gambler, be a Bitcoin maxi now. The last big low hits at 49,400 ish. We need to take that. Oh yeah. I'm not even buying Bitcoin, to be honest. I'm fully loaded on ETH for the next run. I really think ETH is going to smoke BTC in this coming up in the 1 to 2 years. We'll see, dude. Those RWAs are still a real thing. I mean, people are still moving things over. I mean, you got to think a lot of things are going to move to blockchain just because of the speed, the easeability of it. I mean, it's going to get easier and easier on the blockchain. We're going to see that for sure. ETH does not look good. Think they're going to be flopped to the side. I was showing this. I might have clicked out of it, but Ethereum is currently forecasted to go as low as 1.26 K this year per traders on Kalshi. I mean, you can see, a pretty big bets coming in, thinking that ETH is going to get to 1.26 K, which is pretty damn low. And so then people are thinking, well, if it can get down to 1,200, definitely get down to 800. Honestly, ETH not looking good. Ukraine, Russia markets hurt the markets, but made some elites and people rich. Oh, I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm still holding XCL. Yeah, I haven't sold any of mine. I'm still holding, dude. Not looking too hot, but I'm still holding. Like I said, not looking too hot on the XCL front. Oops. Let's see. I haven't even opened my wallet today. Yeah, not looking too hot. Yeah, it's still holding. I think I'm down about 4K on my XCL. About 3K on my XCL. And I'm down pretty heavy on my cent. So kind of sucky. Conflict with Iran can't help the markets. Nah, dude. It'll hurt the markets massively, dude. Don't sleep on Ethereum. ETH can print like cash. It's been when you look at the ETH chart, right? We zoom out on the ETH chart. I mean, in all reality, like ETH hasn't really grown a whole lot since the last. I mean, it barely hit an all-time. The all-time high previously was 4.8, and we went up to roughly almost 5. Like we didn't really get a massive gain. If you go back and look at Bitcoins from the previous years, I mean, we've had massive gains from that, right? I mean, if you bought the top of this and ran it all the way up here, I mean, you're up 81%. You know what I mean? If you bought the top of Ethereum and you waited for it to come all the way back, I mean, you're up roughly $200. You're up roughly like, you went up roughly like 2%. You know what I mean? So a big gap in difference and how that runs. From July 2020 to October of 2021, we rallied 81% and gave back the whole move from 68 down to 15K. So yeah, that 76 retracement was crazy. Now see your BTC chart. what a 76 retracement from all-time high would be. Yeah, the 76 would be, it's down in the 30s, I think. But just didn't make sense to me that like it was going to do that. But yeah, 70, let's just say 73, puts you around 33.9, right? And like the math didn't add up though. Like when you do the math on that stuff, that's why I was like, we had to go high. We have to go higher before that 73% sell off, because it was just like over the last, since it came out here in 2000, like, if you take 2011 all the way through those runs, like we come down and we hit the previous high of the previous bull. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it's always been. I mean, every year we come down, we hit the previous high of the previous bull. We came over here. If you pulled this back up, you can see we hit the previous high of the previous bull. Right now, we're actually at the previous high of the previous bull, right? We're literally dead on right now at it. We obviously dip a little bit below, but the math just didn't add up. Every other time it's been 73, 75. It's got us down to these heights, but this time it just didn't do that, which is kind of weird. Oh yeah, Black Swan. I mean, FTX, Luna Classic, Ukraine-Russia war. Those were crazy events. Those are some crazy times. Those are some crazy ass times. Thinking back about that. And what's wild, even more wild, look at the MACD down here, dude. We're at levels we had never been at with the MACD on the weekly. Look at that, dude. The lowest we got during the last issue was minus 6,000. Now we're down to minus 8,000 on the MACD. I mean, we're hitting levels we've never seen before, ever. We have such a big hole to build out of this. Like, it's crazy. And we're not, like I said, so that's why I think that we're closer to the bottom than we are to the top. BC been exposed. Was the Black Swan event? You think so, dude? You think so? Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that, Bitcoin's been through it all. And Bitcoin's been used for all sorts of bad things, right? I mean, we've seen that, I think. Cool cat. I mean, look at Silk Road. I mean, Silk Road proved that Bitcoin was being used for nefarious things. I mean, it's because it's at that time it was really hard to track. 1 month and 11 days left in this 3-month candle. If it closes with the current low, there is a high probability the next quarter we'll see the bottom. Interesting. Yeah, I'm hoping that we build out of it here in going into Q2. I hope we actually see, because we still got March, right, which will end the third month, and you'll see the build out. The build out over here actually happened. Like I said, the build out over here happened in March, right? Or was it in March? I think it was in March. We went from December all the way until March, right? We started to build back out of this, but it wasn't until March of 2020 when we started to see this come out. So it's like, we had a whole nother year from that time. But we dipped down, same kind of time frame, right? November, you came down over here. We got, through the year. Then all of a sudden, October, November hit. We came down, hit these bottoms through January, February, and then we go into going into Q2, we started to have this relief rally, and then we came back down, and then we rallied back up, right? So, yeah, I don't know how it's going to play out. Very similar to here too. Eventually, we'll build back out. Same time frames, right? November, we hit this October, November, but we weren't at the bottoms. I mean, different time, but it's gonna be weird, dude. AuzSOME was also on an island. I had no proof. I'm a huge on structure of the market. It's not the news, and the structure tells me we go lower if we don't make a new high from this previous all-time high. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make a new high. I mean, to make it, we're gonna, like, technically we created, when we came down past this one, we basically created a lower low, right? I mean, that was kind of our level to show. I mean, in all reality, was this one right here. We didn't want to go below 74. Right, we came down, hit 80, and then we passed that and created a lower low, right? So I mean, I guess it was probably 80 was our lower low. And now if we're saying that, like, hey, we go below 50,000, I mean, we definitely kind of lost all support at that point, which would suck. Great thing, I've been following you on here for a little over a year now. Just wanted to let you know I really enjoy listening to you do my workouts, man. I appreciate that, hot dog. I hope your workouts have been good, dude, and I appreciate you showing up and showing out, dude. It's remarkable that it hasn't torn down Trump yet. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I think that a lot of things are showing. I mean, you can see. I mean, nothing's actually nothing's actually gone back to Trump on it. I mean, everything that's come out has kind of just been. We're almost about to hit a 2,000 Ethereum again right now. Just to let you guys know, we're almost about to go back into the 2,000s, dude. Let's go. Like things are actually looking pretty good right now. The hour is oversold right now, but you can see. I mean, we're getting back into 2,000. It'd be nice if we reach back above this. 4 hours actually looking really good. Look at that structure on the 4 hour. 4 hours at the top though, which means that this is the time to short the market. In all reality, I mean, this is the time to short the market. Every time we double top with the 4 hour, things do not look too good. I mean, I'll probably short the market right now when it comes to ETH. Let's see where XRP's at. XRP's the top 2 for the 4 hour, which means this is probably going to come down too. I'd let it play out for a little bit before I touched it, but I mean, you can see usually the 4 hour hovers around here for a little bit before it falls off for XRP. But Ethereum, we've been up here. We double top this Ethereum. We'll probably hit some levels and come back down. BTC, yeah, Bitcoin's probably 4 hours telling us, suggesting that it's probably time to short. The 4 hours, that's what the 4 hours say. Let's see what the daily's showing us. Daily's obviously bouncing around up here. Probably let the 12 hour, probably got to let the 12 hour play out a little bit, but it didn't fully reset. So yeah, the 12 hour didn't fully reset. So I wouldn't even give that much thought. The day chart's at the top right now. Like I said, it could do something like this too. It can do something like this where we bounce around like this. I pointed this out a couple days ago. We usually do like, there'll be like 3 little points on top of it here. So we could bounce around a little bit, but yeah, just be prepared to short at the end of this whole thing if you're going to be doing some leverage trading. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more pain. I think, Hobbs, if you miss the boat, that's too bad. If institutions miss the boat, they'll just turn it back around. That's probably true. I think that the news came out. You had Brad Garlandhouse come out and say that the Clarity Act looked to be like he's projected it's going to be in April, but that's just one person saying that. So that's a huge inverted flag. Yeah, we're I mean, all around, even HBAR starting to come back down. Let's see where HBAR is on the 4 hour. Yeah, 4 hours come to the top here. Probably gonna bounce around a little bit, but so everything's kind of suggesting that a short's gonna come in. If XRP to retest 162 before I short on the 6 hour. Yeah, I guess I'm talking if you're doing if you're just doing some swing trades, trying to make a quick buck, holding for less than 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, I'd have to make a long little run here. But the 4 hour will probably reset before. I mean, and again, the 4 hour doesn't need to reset that much. There's a fair value gap right here at 143. Yeah, that was a good little candle here. We just hit literally. When did we hit that? That had to have been this morning sometime. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. But Ethereum's climbing up nicely right now. Inside, yeah. J-Man, that's how I play. But it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be an interesting thing. Flirting around with that, and we know that stagflation is on the table too. That's a big thing too. Stagflation, I mean, which is worse, I think, than inflation, and it's worse than a recession. I mean, it's worse than all of it. So hopefully, we don't hit too many of those levels. Yeah, it'll be interesting to sort of see how this military strike goes out if we have it. It's going to happen. I think we're gonna have it. Yeah, I mean, if you can catch it, dude, if you could catch it, it's. But a lot of people that do that, they miss the boat. But I mean, you can. Yeah, I know you like to trade the extremes. Yeah, the 4 hour never. The good thing with the 4 hour though, Hobbs, it never lies. I feel like the 4 hours. I mean, I'm not saying it never lies because there's sometimes it does bounce around. But I mean, in all reality, when the 4 hour suggests, like usually when the 4 hours topped out up here, it's going to come down. I mean, it does, right? And then the markets could recover in the next 8 to 16 hours, right? But usually when this is up, and then usually when it's at the bottom, it comes back down. Like, see here, we just got that next on the 1 hour, sorry, on the 1 hour, the 4 hour. Look at that, dude. Like this is gonna come back down, and it's probably gonna fill this fair value gap. You got to think, if you put a 10x on this thing, right? Let's just say you do a 10x. Like, I should probably just put my money where my mouth is and just do it. But like it's gonna come down and probably hit this fair value gap right here on the 4 hour, right? And that's a really good return. Knowing this is probably gonna come back down. And again, it'll bounce back up off this, right? This will come down. This if it comes back down to 167 or 1967 right here, that would be enough for the 4 hour to come back down, reset itself, and then build back up off of the one, somewhere in this ballpark again, and create another high to go up to the levels that you're talking about. Like that's what I think about. That's a pretty good fair value gap right there, even on that 4 hour. Unfortunately here, it looks like this fair value gap actually didn't get filled all that much, because usually it'll disappear if it does. So there's still some movement right here on XRP to actually get filled up on this fair value gap. Same with HBAR. HBAR has a nice one here at 9.2. And this has been up here for a while, right? With the 4 hour, it came back up. It's hitting back up here. Usually we hover around, and it's double top. I mean, every time it does that, it's going to come back down. Nice little fair value gap sitting around 9.4, and then 9.2, 9.2, 9.1. So those are some good areas to look at. Oops, there goes the gravity back to reality. If you were absolutely break even right now with all your crypto, including XRP, would you sell it at all and just buy a big dip? No, I probably wouldn't sell it. What would be the reason? If you're gonna sell it, dude. So how I look at it as this way. So there's two ways of looking at this, and I'm gonna. The reason why I say this is because, sometimes, like for me personally, dude, like sometimes I have to look for sounds crazy, but just no different than like, when you are doing your taxes, sometimes you got to find ways to get a tax break. And so like for me this year, like my tax break was selling my HBAR, but I bought right back in. You know what I mean? I bought right back in, but I took that hit. I took a hit on my HBAR, and to roll that into my taxes for the next year. And I have other losses that I roll over every year, right? Throughout the years, you can roll your taxes over, and it helps with your capital gains. And so if you're making money like in trading and things like that, like I made a lot of money trading BTC on BTCC. I had capital gains from all that. And so I had to offset that with losses. So what's the best thing to do? The best thing to do is sell, is basically tax harvest yourself, which is, it's not against the law to do that with crypto. It is with stocks, but I mean, sell it and then buy back in at that same price. So like for me personally, if I'm even, there's no reason to sell it, because like, what was the point? I'd probably just hold it. And then if it starts to dip, then I'd probably sell, buy back in. But you could look at it any which way you want to look at it. Everyone does their own little strategies. I try to tax harvest when I can. That's what I did this year. It worked out really well. So do you separate accounts, one for spot trading and the others for swing trading? No. Well, I mean, I got I have my ledger. My ledger has all my spots in there. I did have a majority of my HBAR was on Coinbase this year, just because I was going to look to trade it. So I had stuff on Coinbase, and then obviously I have money over when I do my leverage trades over on BTCC, but that's about it. I did tax harvest. That's the way to do it, dude. I think that's the right way. Offsets a lot of things. Can you explain what a fair value gap is? Yeah, I mean the best thing to there's a symbol out here on the indicators out here. It's actually been a very valuable for it. It is, let's see, where the hell did it go? It's the Lux Algo. So if you go into your like, I don't know if you're using TradingView or not, but go into it and then type into indicators and go into fair value gap Lux Algo. It's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good indicator, and to be honest with you, it's probably been one of the better ones. But really the difference, I mean, when you start to really look at this, dude, like the whole goal of a fair value gap is to find there's like inefficiencies within the candles here. And usually when the market, let's just say, for instance, when the market goes into a massive sell or a massive buy, there's these gaps that get left in the market, right? These orders get left. There's like, basically when aggressive move upward happens, it leaves a massive gap there between the wicks that are actually happening. So like, we'll take like this one, for instance. This is probably a bad one here, but there's between this one right here that went all the way up and then this one right here that came all the way down, it left a gap between this, right? If you look on the 4 hour here, because there was a massive volatile run in this market over basically 8 hour period. So it went all the way up from basically started here at 8 cents and went all the way up to roughly almost 10 cents, 9.6. So that left a gap right here because then this one came back down and tried to fill this gap. But there's a gap that gets left here to be filled. And then usually what happens in between these is that there's like the markets are crazy because there's like it's like an imbalance in the market, where buying and selling pressure causes this price to happen. And then all of a sudden they try to come down and they'll fill up these fair value gaps. And, typically they'll try to fill, like the markets just have a magnetic, it's like magnet, dude, that it just goes to these fair value gaps and fills them at some point. And that's kind of where it is. And that's the best way I could describe it. I'm sure there's probably a better definition out there if there is one. But that's the best way to do it. So do you separate account? Yeah, no, I read that. I did the same thing with XRP. I smashed the like button. I appreciate you, man. DCA over time, always green. Yeah, like I said, even if you bought the previous high of the previous bull, you might be down a little bit right now, but every time you've been up. So, but hey guys, I got to actually get bouncing, dude. We got to get out of here for some soccer. I got to get on the road and it's nasty outside. So the drive north is going to be a pain in the ass. Tell you the truth, I don't even know if I want to drive, but yeah, we got to go up. We have about an hour and a half drive to a field today. And I'm just like, ugh, and it's like driving through Seattle is not going to be ideal. So hopefully we don't hit too much traffic, and it's pretty rainy outside, so we got to get bouncing. But I do appreciate you guys all coming on and kicking with me today, dude. Markets are, right now it's actually not looking too bad. Like I said, I'm going to probably look for a shortening of the market here in the next probably anywhere from a couple hours, if not even now. We're waiting for the HBAR to come up and hit an hour here. We're seeing XRP is actually at the top right now, and then you can see Ethereum's already double topped up here. So I'm going to try see where this one goes over here in the next it could take probably another 4 to 8 hours before we start to see a downturn. But yeah, if you're trying to catch a top, it's going to definitely come in and hit some level. So with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Love you guys a ton for being here on this Saturday, and we will see you guys. I will not see you tomorrow. We got 2 games tomorrow. Actually, I might see you guys tomorrow. What time is my games tomorrow? I might come on and jump on tomorrow as well. Let's see what the days are tomorrow. Yeah. I'll jump on tomorrow. I'll jump on tomorrow as well. We'll jump on tomorrow morning. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, dude. So with all that, love you guys a ton. We're out. Peace out, everyone.